Hello guys, mko poa? I hope you enjoyed your holiday. And as for me, niko poa. I'm very thankful for your support. We are growing at a very high rate. For those who have subscribed to my channel, thank you very much. Na kama bado wewe hujani support, pia uko na time. Please subscribe, share, watch, comment. I appreciate a lot. So for today, tunaendelea na our classes, that is CPA classes, and for today we shall continue with our audit and assurance class. So have your notebook and a pen. Najua bado mnasoma, exam ni hii mwezi, so prepare yourself well, na ninajua kama unasoma utapita. So you have your book, you have your pen. Let's continue from where we stopped last time. And last time tuliachia mahali nilisema muandike subtopic audit of components. That is in audit and assurance subject. Nikasema muandike subtopic audit of components. And after that, we start by writing. Where the auditor of a parent company is also the auditor of its subsidiaries, the factors that influence the decision where to send a separate engagement letter include 1. Legal requirements of disclosure in the financial statements. 2. Whether a separate audit reports are to be issued on the subsidiary and parent companies. 3. Who appoints the auditor of the components? Who appoints the auditor of the component? 4. The extent of any work performed by other auditors. The extent of any other work performed by other auditors. 5. Degree of ownership in the subsidiary by the parent company. And 7. Degree of independence of subsidiaries management. So, a small subtopic, recurring audit. Recurring audit. What is a recurring audit? On recurring audits, the auditor should consider whether the circumstances require the terms of engagement to be revised and whether there is need to remind the client of existing terms of engagement. The auditor may decide not to send a new engagement letter each period. However, the following factors may be necessary to send a new engagement letter. If 1. Any indication that the client misunderstands the objectives and scope of the audit. 2. Any revised or special terms of the engagement. 3. A recent change in senior management, board of directors, or ownership. 4. A significant change in nature or size of client's business. And 5. Where legal requirements dictate so. Where legal requirements dictate so. Another subtopic, auditor's liability and negligence. Where an auditor is liable when he or she is negligent. Auditor's liability and negligence. We write, auditors are known to be competent and honest, and therefore, when they say that financial statements show a true and fair view, users of the financial statements will have faith in them and make decisions based on the information contained in the financial statements. Full stop. Since auditors' work is relied upon by other parties to make economic decisions, The auditor has a responsibility to do his work with reasonable care, skill, and diligence. Full stop. He must not certify what he does not believe to be true, and he must take reasonable care and skill before he believes that what he certified is true. What is reasonable care and skill is very difficult to assess in any given case. However, it is clear that 1. An auditor may fail to exercise sufficient care and skill. 2. As a consequence, some fraud or errors may remain undetected. 3. A user who relies on that work of the auditor may incur a financial loss. And 4. The financial loss incurred flows from failure to do his job properly, and therefore the auditor may have to make good from his own resources, the loss suffered by the user of financial statements. Full stop. Subtopic: criminal law and the auditor. Criminal law and the auditor. Under that, tuandike kidogo. A member of ISPAC is guilty of professional misconduct if 1. He allows any person to participate in his name as an accountant unless such a person is a holder of a practicing certificate and he is in partnership with him or employed by him. 2. He enters for the purpose of or in the course of practicing as an accountant in partnership with a person who does not hold a practicing certificate or secures any professional business through the services of such a person. 3. He discloses information acquired in the course of professional engagement to any person other than the client without the consent of the client or otherwise as required by law. 4. He certifies or submits in his name or in the name of his firm a report of an examination of financial statements, and the examination of such statements and related records have not been made by him, a partner, or any employee of his firm. 5. He fails to observe and apply professional, technical, ethical, or any other standards prescribed by ISPAC as guidelines for practice by members of the institute. 6. He permits his name or that of his firm to be used in connection with an estimate of earnings contingent upon future transactions in a manner which may lead to the belief that vouchers or guarantees for the accuracy of the forecast. And 7. He expresses his opinion as financial statements of any business in which he, his intermediate family, his firm, or any partner in his firm has an interest unless he discloses that interest when expressing his opinion. And 8. He fails to disclose his financial statements, otherwise a material fact known to him, the disclosure of which is necessary to ensure that the financial statements are not misleading. And 9. He fails to report a material misstatement known to him and therefore causes it to appear in financial statements with which he is concerned in a professional capacity. 10. He is found to engage in fraudulent acts or acts which results in loss. And 11. He expresses an opinion on any matter with which he is concerned in professional capacity without obtaining sufficient information on which to base his opinion. 12. He includes in any statement, return, or form to be submitted to ISPAC, knowing it to be false, Full stop. Subtopic, negligence. Negligence. What is negligence? Negligence is some act or omission which occurs because the person concerned failed to exercise that degree of a reasonable care and skill which is reasonably expected in the circumstances of the case. A liability refers to the fact that an auditor who is appointed to report to the shareholders whether the financial statements show a true and fair view could be held liable for negligence if it is determined that he did not carry out his work in due professional care. Therefore, there are no decided cases in Kenya against auditors. This makes it difficult to precisely determine what circumstances the auditor could be held liable in and which parties could successfully bring an action against the auditor. Auditors' liability falls under three categories. Auditors' liability falls under three categories. 1. Civil and criminal liability. Under there, an auditor could be sued in a civil court if he breaches his position of trust and confidentiality, e.g., if he uses information acquired in course of an engagement for his financial gain or for benefit of another party. 2. Liability to the client company under law of contract. Liability to the client company under law of contract. Under that, the auditor client company represents all shareholders acting as a body. The auditor has a duty to report to the shareholders whether the financial statements show a true and fair view. The auditor therefore has a contract with the company. Under this contractual relationship, it is implied that the auditor will carry out his work with a reasonable degree of care and skills. The degree of care and skill required mainly depends on nature of work undertaken. And 3, liability to third party under tort or negligence. Liability to third parties under tort and negligence. In this case, third parties refer to any other than the client company who has used the auditor's report and wishes to make a claim for negligence. It therefore includes any individual, shareholders in the company, any potential investors, and other providers of capital such as lenders and creditors. The difference between these parties and the client company is that such third parties have no contract with the auditor and therefore no implied duty of care. For third parties to succeed in claiming for damages under negligence, they must prove that 1. A duty of care existed, i.e., the auditor owed the third party a duty of care. 2. The duty of care was breached through auditor's negligence. And 3. They suffered a financial loss as a direct consequence of an auditor's negligence. Subtopic: ways of minimizing potential liability for professional negligence. Ways of minimizing potential liability for professional negligence. 1. By not being negligent. 2. Adhering to the required international standards, code of professional conduct, and utilizing sound professional judgment. 2 or 3. Agree with the client duty and responsibilities of the auditor and the client in the engagement letter to avoid future misunderstandings. 4. Defining in the audit report the precise work the auditor has undertaken. 5. stating in the engagement letter the purpose for which the report has been prepared and that the client may not use it for any other purpose. 7. Identifying the authorized receipts of reports in the engagement letter in the report. 8. Limiting or excluding liability by a term in the engagement letter, or in the case of third parties, a disclaimer in the report. And 9. Advising the client on the engagement letter on the need to ask for permissions before using the auditor's name, and withholding such permissions when appropriate. Next time or next lesson tutaanzia professional ethics. Professional ethics. So subtopic professional ethics. Thank you very much for your time. Study hard. Exam is around the corner. And please don't forget to subscribe. And also turn on the notification icon, please, so that you can get the alert when I upload a new topic. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.